That's all of them, for now.
can you sense it in the air? Grand things are afoot. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that tomorrow is the beginning of a bold new era for the Heroes Guild.
Okay, I'll bite. What's up?
Ice cream first, I think. Then business. I always order the newest flavor. In fact, I think I've become something of a guinea pig for the ice cream maker. I'm certain I was the only one in town who ordered the Stingray Surprise.
That's brave of you.
More brave than you realize. My mother might disown me if she knew. She's the heiress to the world's largest vanilla dynasty. In my family, chocolate is forbidden. Strawberry is sacrilege. I'll admit not every flavor is a winner, but I've had enough vanilla for a lifetime. But enough about ice cream. I lured you here with the promise of news. I believe I finally found a solution to my dilemma, a way to alleviate some of the financial stress burdening my heroes. Or have you figured it out already?
Are you cutting costs around the guild hall? A tighter overhead budget would free up money for other uses.
You know, I like that idea quite a lot. In fact, I like it so much that it's the very first thing I tried upon my arrival. Any unnecessary fat has long since been trimmed. Otherwise, you wouldn't catch me dusting quite so often.
Okay, I'll bite. What's your idea?
I'll tell you! It's education, Sylvia! Starting tomorrow, I shall be giving a series of lectures aimed at demystifying venture capitalism. Therefore, empowering my people to grow their capital through the judicious application of first-class investment strategies.
Oh boy.
I know, it's a mouthful, but don't worry. I'll be peppering the seminar with ribald jokes just to keep them interested.
It's a sweet idea.
Uh-oh. Your words are flattering, but your tone is not.
The thing about investing money is that you have to have money to invest. It's a great way to make the rich richer, but for those of us struggling just to get by...
Oh, I see. All the investment tips in the world won't help if you don't have two coins to rub together. What a shame. I was so looking forward to leading a seminar. Although this might explain why the sign-up sheet remains empty.
I'd be up for hearing your rebel jokes.
I haven't written any yet. Locker room talk isn't my strength. But I did take the time to draft up a new coupon for you. I trust that effort, at least, was not wasted.
Well, this definitely alleviates my financial burdens.
Nice to know I still have some good ideas. It's within my power to fix the guild's problems, Sylvia. I'm sure of that. But I'm baffled on the how of it. I clearly have some more thinking to do, but I have figured out one thing. You are a wonderful sounding board. And I don't take that for granted. Not for a moment. And not one bit.
Nice day for a shopping spree, isn't it? I don't really need anything, but maybe I'll see something I can't resist. In addition to you, I mean.
I'm glad you're enjoying yourself.
Do I seem a little manic? I probably do. You've got to understand, back home, I never got to do stuff like this. I couldn't leave my house without being mobbed by fans and photogs. Forget about a shopping trip. There'd have been a riot. I feel ridiculous complaining about it. I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but it's a lot sometimes. I'm glad I decided to go incognito while in Rafta.
You always stand out in a crowd, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, good. I wouldn't want to lose you in the throng. But maybe I'll hold on tight, just in case. And for the record, it's not like I want to fade into the background. I just want a little distance between myself and my brand, I guess. My professional image is cookie cutter clean. But out here, well, my stylist isn't around to tell me what not to wear.
I prefer to make my own fashion choices, even when they're bad ones.
Totally. There's some things a person should get to decide for herself. Back home, it wasn't just my clothes or hair that were out of my control. Before this little sabbatical, my record label had final say over what I ate, where I went, who I spent time with. I'm telling you, Sylvia, they micromanaged my whole life, all in an effort to maximize my appeal to the widest possible audience. It's nice to get a break from all that, to explore my own style.
And write your own music.
Yes, exactly that. It's sort of all related, isn't it? Choosing your own look, the face you present to the world, and singing your own words. Words you believe. It's all self-expression. Find your rhythm, and people will hear what you're really trying to say.
That's a tip I can tap my foot to.
I hope you'll be swaying along to my original composition soon.
So the writing's going well?
Yeah, I've gotten to the part in the story where our hero needs to lean on someone else. I could introduce an animal helper, or have our hero enlist the aid of a great magician. Which trope do you like best?
Animal helper. Because adding an animal makes every story better.
I had you pegged as an animal lover all along. You want it, you got it. As for me, I think I want footwear. Did you see? There's a whole booth over there just for shoes.
I saw a pair of boots with some pretty severe spikes. I think they might suit you. But you should be the judge of that.
You've got me figured out pretty well, haven't you? Come on, let's both try on a pair.
I've been feeling less burdened since our recent talk. I had been so determined to leave the past in the past, but it feels better to have everything out in the open. It's really helped with my productivity, too. Just this morning, I converted an old ladder into a wine rack, which was necessary. Because yesterday, I decided my old wine rack would make a fine bird feeder. Now I just have to figure out how to get the bird feeder up into that tree. I suppose I'll have to make a new ladder.
Or I could fly it up for you.
There you go again, solving my problems.
I like making you smile. It brightens my day every time.
I save all my best smiles for you, and my best haggling tips. Let me teach you some breathing exercises that will keep you calm through even the most difficult negotiation.
And exhale. Got it.
I do well to remember my own advice. I think my palm is sweating. The fleshy one, I mean.
Is everything all right?
Yes, but I wanted to discuss some things. To begin with, Sylvia, you are extraordinary, and I cherish you. A friendship like ours comes along so rarely. So I felt it was necessary to say something, to let you know how I feel. And part of what I'm feeling is scared.
You're scared? I don't understand.
It's difficult to explain, but I'll try. I had friends once. Friends so close they were like family. I lost every one of them in a single moment. I blinked and they were gone forever from this life. I've lived in the woods alone ever since, in part because I like the solitude, but in a deeper sense, because I needed the solitude. You understand?
I'll give you space if that's what you want. I don't want to force you into anything.
It's good of you to say so, but I think I need the push. You've been good for me, Sylvia. For a moment, standing on the beach that day, it felt scary to acknowledge that. Here's the thing about being scared, though. It gives you the opportunity to be brave. So thanks for that. Thanks for being my friend, rather than leaving me to my solitude. And also, thanks for being a little flirtatious with me.
You don't mind?
Not at all. I know you're taken, and even if you weren't, I'm not looking for entanglements. But after so long, it's fun to exercise those muscles again. I don't want to hide from the world, Sylvia, and I don't want to avoid feeling things. So let's make the most of our time. Let's live each day like it might be our last. And when our time is up, we'll know we spent it the best way we could.
Together?
Together, as true friends.
The enviable life of a two-time champion. Idol of millions.
Sylvia, hope I'm not interrupting. I'm all set up at the guild hall now. Baptiste said to let you know.
Okay, I'll keep you in mind. Was there something else?
Matter of fact, yeah. You've shown me a kindness, Sylvia. Setting me on this new path. Feels like I should return the favor.
You could share some pointers. I'm always looking to learn and grow.
That's not a bad way to be. I was going to suggest you start growing your own ingredients. Ever try it?
I took a botany class in college where we learned the basics. It didn't go well, though. Not for my GPA, and not for the poor plants.
Not everybody's gifted with a green thumb. But gardening's easy with a slime bulb.
Slime bulb?
I come across them every once in a while. Little critters gobble up all sorts of things. And in the right conditions, they'll reshape their own protoplasmic mass to grow identical copies of their last meal. It's a downright fascinating adaptation, and they're awfully nice to look at.
Not unlike yourself, really.
I don't know about that. Given the choice, I'd rather blend into the foliage. Skulking in the bushes is how I found this particular slime bulb, actually. Was a bit of a runt, but I nursed her to health with my homemade plant formula. And frequent words of encouragement.
Thanks. I'll try it out.
Does me some good to see you're giving thought to minimizing your footprint. Mind if I give you some pointers for proper care and feeding? Behold, the humble slime bulb. A remarkable, magical, cute as a button organism capable of cloning any ingredient. Just place the ingredient you want to duplicate into an empty slime bulb. Once an ingredient is gestating, you can feed her extra ingredients. That'll help her grow more of the gestating ingredient. A bulb's plasma color tells you what Magimin she prefers to munch on. Feed her the right Magimin, and she'll be happy and healthy and grow a lot of ingredients for you.
Nice. Who knew that going green could actually give me an edge?
That's not such a surprise, really. Nature's not a congeniality contest. Plenty of animals take what they want and don't say sorry. Squirrels, for instance. You want to bring home the gold? Channel that ferocity, Sylvia. Be the squirrel.
I think I follow. But are squirrels really all that ferocious?
I've got scars that say they are. Don't make the mistake of underestimating a squirrel, Sylvia. Not like I underestimated you. That's all I got for now.
That's all of them, for now.
I'm glad you had some time to hang out today. I've had something on my mind. And it's important we talk about it away from the guild hall. The walls there have ears, only some of which are stuffed and mounted.
Is this a date? Is that what this is?
Sylvia, I promise. When it's a date, you'll know. And it'll be someplace a little nicer than this. I just figured we could talk, and I'm weirdly nervous about it. I'm probably overthinking it, though. Sometimes the best strategy is to have no strategy at all. And I do my best work when I keep it simple.
Yeah, life is complicated enough. And you should know you don't need to be nervous around me.
In that case, here's the thing. I'm just going to come right out and say it. Sylvia, I feel like you've been flirting with me. And for a while, I was kinda into it. I mean, I like you a lot. But I'm trying to focus on my work for the guild. And you... well, I know that you're seeing someone.
You're right. Sorry. I didn't mean to string you along or make things awkward.
Hey, I get it. I just wanted to address it before anyone's feelings got hurt.
So it's okay with you if we're just friends?
I mean, I've never loved that phrasing. Just friends. As if friendship isn't amazing! As if it's anything less than magic when two people connect! Growing up, I was the only one in my family who ever dreamed of life beyond our sleepy little port town. The only one who wanted to leave one day. In a lot of ways, nobody ever really got me. Not like you do.
We're definitely kindred spirits.
It's true! I saw it in your eyes the first time we met. That same drive to succeed. That same refusal to settle for less. It's made my own journey easier. My whole life better. Just knowing that we're on parallel paths. Sylvia, you're my best friend! And I'm so glad we get to experience Rafta together.
It's an amazing place, and we've barely scratched the surface.
I know! Just think how many adventures we have ahead of us! I'm confident we're going to leave our mark on this place as capable, enterprising individuals. And as a team.
You're the best teammate I could ask for.
No, you are! Aw, look at us, couple of softies. We've got this, Sylvia. You and me. What could possibly stand in our way?
Was just about to do some birdhouse construction. You any good with tools?
you. This is pretty fun, right? Right. Cool. That's a pretty solid birdhouse.
What, this? This is just the foyer.
You know, that's the most you've said to me since I got here. You're not much of a talker, are you?
I suppose I'm out of practice. Been a while since I spent much time in the company of human beings.
Really? Because people seemed to be flocking to you when you were selling potions. I sort of had the impression you'd amassed some fans, maybe even some groupies.
Seemed to have scared them off. They kept coming around, with something like hunger in their eyes. Started to feel like I was on the menu. So I spritzed them with some urine from a saber-toothed cantaloupe. Very pungent stuff, that urine.
Oof. Yeah, that's one way to chase people off. But that hunger you saw, were they maybe just eager to befriend you?
Not sure I'm looking for friends. Been a long time since I ran with a pack. Don't mind you being here and helping out with the birdhouse. But I'm not sure I've got much to offer when it comes to socializing.
I like the strong, silent type. And you do look strong.
Oh, you, need someone for manual labor?
Not exactly what I was getting at.
Ah, right. Look. I don't mean to be obtuse, Sylvia. And I do recognize when I'm being awkward. But despite what you may think, chit-chat isn't as natural as all that. When you're up against a cornered animal, it isn't so hard to know what that animal's gonna do. Talking's different. People zig when you think they'll zag. They use innuendo instead of coming out with what they mean. It's more complicated than anything I encounter out in the wilderness.
People are messy, you're right about that. But you'll get the hang of it. After all, you're people too.
Homo sapiens, to be exact. At any rate, I shouldn't complain. This is a new situation I'm in, sure. But adaptability? That's what I do. You've got to be nimble on your feet if you want to survive a hostile setting.
A hostile setting like retail.
You're an odd one, Sylvia. I don't mind it, though. Especially since you're helping out with this birdhouse. Let's get the East Wing started next. That's where the water slide will go.
Sand rarely comes to mind for its utility as an artistic medium. To which I say, for shame! Sand is miraculous! It can be molded to near any shape with ease. It is like water that holds its form, or molten metal that you can touch.
But it doesn't hold a shape for long. A sand sculpture wouldn't be very permanent.
And what is permanent? Eventually, wave or wind will return any sculpture to its base elements. With sand, that process is accelerated. This feels honest. It is a reminder of the great folly in chasing permanence of any kind. Besides, there is pleasure to be found in getting your flippers dirty. Well, it is a work in progress, yes? Every artist struggles through the process of the creation. The important thing is to end strong. In haggling, too, save your greatest burst of enthusiasm for your closing argument. Say it with zeal. Buy it now, or regret it always!
I can do that!
Nicely done! Nicely done. We have come far together, Sylvia, don't you think? It was on this very stretch of sand that I first set foot to Rafta's shores. And now, here we are, trading techniques and making small artworks together.
It's romantic out here. I mean, if you can look past the gigantic, imposing kraken skull.
I find myself in agreement. The waves themselves whisper to me of your grace. Let us therefore pay no heed to that memento mori, that calcified calamari. Now is not the time for us to contemplate death. Now is the time to celebrate life through the art form known as poetry!
Poetry? Muktuk, do you write poetry?
When the mood strikes me. And last night, strike me it did!
Well, let's hear it.
Embers burning red, flaming forge of creation. Your hair is pretty. That's it! Haha! So, what do you think?
I loved it. Muktuk, is there anything you can't do?
I cannot play stringed instruments. You see, I have no fingers. But what was that? You loved it, you said? Then I am triumphant! Sylvia, it was your companionship that inspired me to write it. You have been very forward in your pursuit of friendship. And, I think, in your pursuit of something more, perhaps. And yet, I know much of what goes on in this town. My stall is at the very center of the action, after all. And I know that your heart belongs to another.
I guess I've been too flirtatious.
And yet, who could blame you? Not I. Muktuk has long had a way with the ladies of many species. I only mean to say, I am glad that you are happy.
Thanks, Muktuk. You're a good friend.
It is easy. Of all the many works I have forged since coming here, our friendship is my favorite. For it is something that we crafted together in endeavor so great, it could only be accomplished by the both of us working in tandem.
The two of us together? That's a lot of talent in one place.
I tell you true, You cannot argue with the results. We are building something splendid together, Sylvia. And I do believe that it shall stand the test of time.
Spoken like a true poet.
I regret only that I have no talent for rhyming.
The whole town seems on edge since Bossman started throwing his weight around. Have you noticed?
I've noticed that you seem concerned.
Shouldn't I be? Roxanne's bark was always worse than her bite. Corsac was more misanthropic than malicious. But something about this guy feels different, Owl. What if I don't have what it takes?
I wouldn't worry about that. I'm certain you're more than capable and... Well, it's awful that you're in this situation, that's for certain. For certain, but really, it isn't anyone's fault, per se, and... Wait, what was the question again?
What's going on with you? You seem less articulate than usual.
Well, I don't like seeing you this way. I suppose I've grown accustomed to your bravado. It's made it easier to ignore the full gravity of your situation. A situation for which I'm, well, partly to blame. Just a little.
How so?
Oh, you must have guessed by now, or at least suspected. My name, my true name, it isn't an owl. It's Oswald.
What? Uncle Oswald? It's really you, isn't it?
I'm afraid so.
But how? How is that possible?
It's quite a story, but most of what I've told you is true. My debt had grown beyond my control. I was desperate for money. So I set out for Maven's castle, and I made it, Sylvia. Thanks to my potions, I was the first in decades to set foot there. But I set that foot right in a booby trap, some strange runic circle, charged with transmogrifying magics. One moment, I was a handsome, broad-shouldered gentleman with a winning smile and quite tall.
Good grief.
And the next moment, I was this. I was horrified and confused. I could think of nothing else but how to undo my transformation. I fled that place and returned to the shop. And that's when I realized everyone believed I was dead. Everyone, including a certain debt collector. And despite my unusual circumstances, I breathed a sigh of relief because I finally felt safe.
How nice for you. Less great for me, though.
Putting you in my will, I thought I was doing a good thing. A generous thing. I didn't think it through. You must know that's true. As desperate as I was, I never would have chosen to burden you with all this.
Then you should have told me this sooner. You should have been honest. And you definitely should have spoken up when Helena came for me.
You're right. You're right about that. I regret my inaction at that moment, Sylvia, more than I can say.
If I were smart, I'd turn you over to her right now. This debt is your responsibility. I shouldn't even be in this mess. But I've invested so much in this shop. It's mine now. And I won't let Helena repossess it over your breach of contract.
Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you for not handing me over to her, for giving me another chance.
I didn't say anything about giving you another chance. The last thing I need around here is a business partner who's been lying to my face, owl.
But Sylvia...
I'm going to beat Boss Finn. I'm going to pay off this debt to save myself and my shop from the clutches of the bank. And I'm going to do it on my own. No big deal, though. It turns out in every way that matters. I've been on my own from the start.
No, that isn't... I understand. I suppose I'll give you some space.
That's all of them for now. There's a bomb! What? Where?
Hi, Sylvia. There's no bomb.
Yeah, don't spill your sand or anything. I just wanted to make a point. You gotta start out loud and bombastic if you want to grab someone's attention.
Good tactic. Or maybe that's the massive adrenaline rush talking.
Hey, put that energy to use. You want to help us out again?
What's on the agenda? More vendettas?
This is bigger than that. Way bigger. We gotta plan out tomorrow's naps.
Naps? Seriously?
It sounds like a small thing, but naps are important, Sylvia.
Yeah, there's an old rhyme to help you remember. Rested pirates, nice and quiet. Cranky pirates, they start riots.
The tricky part is that pirates will only nap in a patch of direct sunlight.
Yeah, we gotta account for the precise position of the sun.
Which changes by minor degrees each day, as do the exact number of minutes between dawn and dusk.
But wait a minute. What if it's cloudy tomorrow?
Then get ready for some riots!
Maybe I should board up my windows just in case.
I bet you could handle a bit of chaos in the streets. You've been a real daredevil. I guess you have to be. Setting up shop on an island that's overrun with monsters.
Monsters? Bring 'em on. I was hoping I'd get to see a dragon or something by now.
Hey, there's the swagger. Sylvia the Slayer here don't back down from no monsters, right?
Monsters aren't so scary.
Whatever you say, Captain.
Monsters are just like any other living thing. They need to eat, they need to sleep, they know fear, and that makes them vulnerable.
You see, Pepper believes in being prepared. He's got a strategy to single-pointedly take down any monster you could name.
Even dragons. They seem pretty tough.
Their hide is tough, sure. Not so much the thin membrane of their wings. And they're covetous things, which makes baiting a trap very easy. I would set out a few goats and a pile of gold in a clearing. When the dragon takes the bait, shred one of its wings. It'd be forced to fight you on land.
That still sounds pretty dangerous.
Not if you stuff those goats with explosives. In the end, it's about planning ahead and controlling the field of battle.
I'm convinced. How about you?
The Heroes Guild needs to hear this. They could put these strategies to use.
Sure, they could.
for a modest subscription-based fee. But enough daydreaming. We got piratical stuff to get back to. Which may or may not involve showing some belligerent beasties who's really in charge out there.
I've earned a treat. I think you've earned one too.
I do like ice cream.
Then you shall have it, darling. Just let me do the talking.
What was that?
That was the performance of a lifetime. And if you haven't yet tried the emotional minefield technique, you very much should.
I'll practice it. But first, ice cream. What's on your mind?
Oh, just mulling over some of my recent accomplishments. As of this morning, I've submitted all the paperwork and fees required for my business license. Now all that remains is to schedule my exam.
I've heard that test is pretty tough.
To which I say, bring it on. If I feared a challenge, I never would have ended up here.
How did you end up here? I don't think you've ever said.
It wasn't because of any inheritance, I can tell you that much. As a girl, I had an insatiable interest in the surface world, inspired by the bits of debris that made their way down from the human cities above. Empty flasks and loose change, bootlaces and hair ribbons, I'd pore over all of it. But my favorites were the magazines. They were full of images of beautiful women living lives of glamour and luxury. They made it all seem so very attainable. And though there were no demons pictured in those perfumed pages, well, my powers of illusion were second to none. So I decided to ascend. I left a note for my parents and took off into the night. But the surface world was not what I had expected. Those with more money than they could ever need can use their money as a sort of lure, trapping others in an endless cycle of toil, hope, and obligation, all while increasing their own wealth naturally. Faster than I would have thought possible, I went from having nothing to having less than nothing. I was in debt, deep, dangerous, demoralizing debt, and I realized I always would be. So long as I continued to play by the rules of rich men.
Wow, Roxanne, I had no idea.
Yes, generally I prefer it that way. But something about you makes me want to come clean. It's probably your big bovine eyes. Anyway, now you know how I ended up running cons on the streets of Rafta.
I've had it easy by comparison. It's easy to lose sight of that. Particularly when my inheritance has been both a windfall and an albatross.
I suppose we both had to learn that if something seems too good to be true, it probably is.
You're every bit as good as advertised, I bet.
Well, I certainly haven't received any complaints yet.
I have a minor complaint, actually. You haven't touched your ice cream, and now it's all melted.
Oh, good. This is how I prefer it, you see. Ice cream headaches are my greatest vulnerability.
Wow. We must really be friends if you're telling me your weaknesses.
Weakness, singular. You're welcome to look for more than one, but I don't like your odds, dear.
Sylvia, I'm in a rut today.
What's the matter?
Well, my mom called, and I should have known better than to answer in the middle of a workday. But she just had to let me know that my sister removed some lady's supposedly inoperable goiter through a skillful combination of magic, medicine, and quadridexterity. Which, like, that's great, don't get me wrong. But she had that tone in her voice. The one that says, "How many goiters have you removed, Luna?" Is the answer 0, Luna? Because, that's not a very impressive number, Luna.
Wasn't she excited about your big client?
Oh, it's way too soon to loop her in on that. What if it all falls through? There's no sense in getting her hopes up until the trial period is over and the contracts are signed in blood. But that client is the whole reason I need to get out of my head and back on target ASAP. I'd set aside time today to brainstorm some bold new ideas for them, but I've just been staring blankly at these screens. And also wondering whether you'd drop in. You're sort of on my mind a lot these days. Sorry if that's weird. Is it hot in here? Should we get some air? Let's get some air! Say, it's pretty nice out here. I guess the heroes are doing a good job of keeping the local beasties at bay. Someone should help them put together a PSA.
I know the guy in charge, if you want me to put in a word.
That's nice of you to offer, but I'm officially all booked up. In fact, hold that thought. I've got to check in on something real quick. That's weird. My feed isn't updating.
You probably shouldn't expect to get any service out here.
What? Really? I take back every nice thing I said about this stinkhole! Set it on fire!
We could head back now if it's important.
Yes! No, wait. I appreciate your willingness to chase a signal with me, but we've come this far. We should stay. We should enjoy ourselves.
I always enjoy myself with you, whatever setting we're in.
Sylvia, you're so sweet. And you're right. We are practically destined to have a nice time because we're together. Fresh air. Yum yum. Just checking something really quick. Okay, I have to be honest with you. I'm not totally sure what people do out here. I mean, we breathe some air. Mission accomplished.
Didn't you want to clear your head? Free up some mental space for new inspiration.
I guess inspiration comes on its own schedule. For me, that's usually at 3 in the morning when I'm on a deadline. In the meantime, I've got my tried and true go-to marketing plans to fall back on. You'll get diminishing returns when you go back to a rehearsed line, but whatever works, right?
I'm not against sticking to a script now and then.
Right? I knew you'd get it. And I also know you'll forgive me for cutting this short. As much as I enjoy seeing you, next time, we should stick closer to home.
I guess Oswald really cleared out of here.
Hello, Sylvia! Nice day, isn't it?
It's definitely a great day to buy a potion. See anything you like?
Ha! Well, it's easy to see how you've advanced so far in the competition circuit. Those festival days are just so frantic. I'm sorry we haven't had a chance to talk before now, but guild business compelled me to drop in on you today. I wanted to let you know about an issue that some of the heroes have been having with a certain potion maker.
Uh-oh. Is everything okay?
From what I can gather, some intrepid entrepreneur has been patent trolling. He is currently claiming the exclusive right to buy, sell, and trade a whole range of potions upon the Isle of Rafta.
What? But that's absurd. Nobody has the right to do that. And I have no intention of honoring some arbitrary restriction about what I'm allowed to sell.
Good for you. In fact, I've made an appeal to the authorities myself. Unfortunately, the perpetrator has two things going for him: dark magic and red tape. The patent he has imposed is magical in nature, meaning you couldn't break it if you tried. And it could be weeks before the Central Commission reviews all the paperwork and makes a ruling on the matter.
This is a disaster. Weeks? I'm not sure my business can hold out that long. Boss Finn must be the one behind this. He's trying to beat me before we even get to the competition.
You guessed it right. But you're not the only one he's hurting with this move. As you must know, my heroes frequent the local potion shops. Now that Boss Finn has got a stranglehold on the market, they're forced to go to him. And he's able to charge exorbitant fees.
So now he's gonna be smarmy and rich. What a great combination. He's definitely not making it easy for me. But this only makes me more determined than ever to beat him.
I had a feeling you'd say as much. And keep in mind, the restriction on selling potions does not extend to the gifting of potions. So, if you were to send a hero out on an adventure, you're free to outfit them with potions as usual. Thus, it behooves me to mention that, even in this time of uncertainty, the Heroes Guild remains open for all your adventuring needs.
Well, I've got to admire that hustle. That's all of them for now.
Sorry to chase you away, but I'm about to head down to the beach.
Can I join you?
I mean, you can. But I'll be marking turtle nests to keep them from getting trampled. Not what most people would call a good time.
Are you kidding? Compared to facing another onslaught of demanding customers, it sounds like a dream vacation. Come on, show me what you get up to in your spare time.
This is the spot.
Thanks for offering a steadying hand back there. That is a steep slope. But how are your hands so soft? Do you moisturize?
Oh, it's all new skin. I had to grow it back after a run-in with a corrosive corgi. Navigating a steep slope isn't so hard, though. Just need decent boots. Having the right gear is always essential. Gotta be prepared for anything.
That's doubly true when you're dealing with customers.
Ain't that the truth? Now, let's get started here. I've got everything we need. See it? That's a nest. Sea turtles lay their eggs in the sand, where they're vulnerable to careless footfalls and errant volleyballs. Not on my watch. We gotta let people know where the nests are.
Yes! Save the turtles! Let's do it.
Enthusiasm's good, but don't get too close to any of the mothers. They have powerful flippers and they know how to use them. It's why this particular species is known as the slapping turtle.
Noted. I'll keep my distance.
Those women appear to have depleted their stamina. And despite all that talk of being prepared, I'm fresh out of restorative potions. I may need to carry them to safety.
Don't you dare! They're just enjoying themselves.
By lying prone on the ground. I'd be worried about aerial predators. Maybe that's just me.
It's just you.
Suppose my time in the wild left me extra vigilant.
Have you really spent that much time out in nature?
I have.
Were you raised by wolves?
Nothing like that. Although, I did learn a fair bit from the wombats.
So? Tell me about it.
Well, if you're gonna be insistent, my folks were nomadic. Belonged to a clan of a few dozen souls. We rarely stayed in one place for long. Moved with the weather. Followed the food. Never left a permanent mark on the land. And never took more than the land could spare. But truth be told, even among my family, I was an outlier.
How so?
Little ways at first. When the others gathered around the fire at night, I'd offer to stand watch, sort of set myself apart. Soon started feeling more kinship for the animals than the people. Even let a few animals get away while on the hunt. Meals we could sorely afford to miss. One day, I was sent to scout ahead, and I just sort of kept going. Always meant to stop and set down roots somewhere, at least for a little while. Just never really got around to doing it.
Well, you're back in civilization now. You can afford to let your guard down a little. Although, come to think of it, I've never really seen you relax.
Too much to do. I wouldn't know where to begin.
How about a massage? I could work out some of that tension.
Being touched generally makes me more tense, not less. Although, you do look to have powerful hands.
Thanks. Take it from me.
You've got to find ways to relax, or the stress of the city will eat you alive. In a place like this, you can only go so far on your knowledge of sandworms and squirrels and slapping turtles.
Sylvia, I would never slap a turtle. Sorry, just some naturalist humor.
Oh boy.
I hear what you're saying, and I'll ponder it. But in my heart, I know I'm not the type to be idle. I can appreciate the sea air and the feeling of sand beneath my feet. But I can help out these turtles at the same time.
Fair enough. It's definitely a nice break from my shop, just like I hoped. And hey, maybe we'll get lucky and see some of these eggs hatch while we're here.
Oh, I wouldn't wish for that. The babies are vicious little beasts, and they go right for your weak points. Believe me when I say you do not want to get turtle tapped.
And the beach is ruined for me. Thanks.
Supply run! But first things first. Let's get some ice cream. We'll even pay for it instead of stealing. Out of respect for your chosen profession.
That's big of you.
Pretty big, yeah. I only hope that this place finally took my feedback and has expanded its flavor offerings accordingly. I don't know why they didn't have seafood flavor ice cream to begin with. It's like a no-brainer.
I think you're out of luck. I don't see anything seafoody.
And I don't smell it.
Fine, we'll just stick with plain.
Plain? Do you mean vanilla?
Nah, vanilla's a flavor, isn't it? I mean plain, milk flavored.
The way Katuna intended. So good.
Oh, so good! And you just can't get this on the high seas? I guess there's gotta be some kind of trade-off, right? Otherwise, I don't see the appeal. If I spent as much time on land as you lubbers do, I'd just be pissed off all the time.
So no change, really.
Ah, Captain Peanut Gallery over there. But you know the best part of life on the high seas?
The lawlessness is probably the best part. Forget loans and debt. Take what you're owed.
Sounds nice when you say it like that, but it ain't like we got no rules. And bribes really add up. Nah, the best part is, You're always with your mates. Your crew's your family. And you get to take them with you wherever you go. It's why we take this blood brother process so seriously. We gotta really put the screws to you. Make sure you're not the type to spill your sand at the first sign of trouble.
What does spill your sand mean? I'm not familiar.
It's a pirate thing.
Each of us carries a vial of sand, Sylvia. The sand is collected from the beach on which we're born.
Yeah, mostly we spend our whole lives on ships. But when a litter's about to be born, we try and find a cozy patch of sand somewhere. Birthing is a messy business. Better to do it in nature's litter box than have to swab the decks with bleach. And carrying some of that sand out to sea with us feels meaningful.
That's a cool custom. Sort of like taking a little piece of home with you.
Yes and no. It's not like the beach is our real home and the ship is a replacement. I think of it this way. The sand connects us with the place of our birth. But it's not like an anchor. It's more like a reminder that we can take the important stuff with us. Home ain't a static place if you follow. And now that you know our secrets, we gotta kill ya!
Wait. You're just seeing if I'll spill my sand.
And demonstrating another pirate haggling hack. You can't show him no weakness, Sylvia. No quarter.
All right. No quarter will be given.
You got spirit for a landlubber. Whoa. And I've got indigestion.
Me too.
Oh, why does this happen with the ice cream every time? You think they're trying to poison us? Like that sushi place that time.
Is it possible you're lactose intolerant?
I don't know what that means, but I ain't known for my tolerance, so probably.
I need to find a litter box.
Oh, yeah, you and me both. We'll see you around, Sylvia. Hot tip. You might want to steer clear of this area for a good 20 minutes or so.
My energy is lagging today.
Need caffeine?
It isn't doing much for me right now. I hope I'm not developing an immunity. I was thinking of getting some exercise. It's more time-consuming than an espresso, but the endorphin rush can't be beat. Do you mind holding my punching bag steady?
It'll make a nice change. Working in retail means I usually am the punching bag. Well, I wouldn't bet against you in a fight.
Oh, I don't know. I don't like my odds against anything that would punch back. Let the heroes pull aggro. I'm happy keeping my head down. Now, could I interest you in an ice-cold ampheterade? I've got grape, lemon lime, and cashmere.
Isn't that the stimulant-enhanced sports drink that's banned in 6 kingdoms?
Yeah, it's not easy to get a hold of, but I just got a care package from home. My mom loves a challenge, and she does not love interkingdom trade restrictions.
Your mom sounds interesting.
She's a fierce lady. There was this time in high school I got a B+ on a history quiz.
She gave you a hard time over a B+?
Oh, she didn't say a word about it. but she somehow got her hands on my classmate Sol's quiz. Sol's the daughter of my mom's best friend, and she had aced the quiz. She even got the extra credit question right. So my mom ended up putting Sol's quiz on the fridge. I had to see that big, bright A+ every time I went into the kitchen. I was left to wonder if she wanted me to study it and learn from it, or if she was threatening to replace me as her daughter.
Wow, that's definitely going the extra mile.
Like I said, she's fierce. Oh, also she makes the best banana bread you ever tried. It's award-winning, Sylvia.
What about your dad?
Well, he's a terrible baker. Aside from that, the two of them are in perfect alignment. Same values, same priorities, same mastery of psychological warfare. Both of my parents really push the importance of school, although they aren't big on learning for the sake of learning. Education was always a means to an end. My siblings and I had to get good grades so we could launch right into successful careers in law, medicine, or banking. You'll notice I didn't say anything about marketing.
I always like a black sheep. There's nothing more attractive than a person who forges her own path.
Well, don't get too excited. I wasn't exactly a rebel without a cause or anything. My choice of career wasn't what they wanted for me, but I did get a great job offer from a major firm right out of school. So my parents didn't really have a problem until I decided to leave that firm and move to RAFTA. I gave up a prestigious job with full benefits and clear upward mobility for a rough-and-tumble startup on the edge of the world.
Well, when you put it like that, it sounds awesome.
I know, right? Sadly, they don't quite see it that way. To them, running a successful business in a frontier town is like being the dog who gets the best table scraps. Other dogs are jealous, sure, but nobody else is.
They'll come around. What you're doing is so impressive, they'll have to see that.
I hope they do, because I want them to be proud. But I'm not willing to let them run my life. We fight, and they get under my skin like no one else. But I've learned to keep my head down and do my own thing. And to just trust that one day, they'll see the value in what I do. After all, if they taught me anything, it's that there's no use trying to live a stress-free life. Stress will find you. Sometimes it's better to face it head on, you know? Embrace the caffeine rush and power through the stress however you can.
I hear you. The only way out is through.
That's true, whether you're trying to get a fledgling business off the ground or vying for your parents' approval.
Or just angling for the best table scraps. Because, let's be real, I will eat off your plate. Another sunny day. Man, those weather witches are good.
Greetings, Sylvia! And please make no effort to sell me anything. I know very well the many merits of your potions. Today, however, I am not here to spend gold, but to tell you I am once again expanding my offerings.
I'm all ears.
Human ears are very prominent, that is true. But as for my news, from this day forth, in addition to cauldrons, I shall offer for sale aging barrels. Placing a potion in such a barrel will assuredly elevate its quality, and thus its selling price. It means delaying gratification for yourself and your eager customers, but as the saying goes, great things come to those who shop with Muktak.
You know, I've never actually said that, but I'm going to start. An aging barrel could definitely come in handy on those occasions when I'm not rushing to get a potion immediately from cauldron to shelf.
I knew you would see the wisdom in this. Come and visit me when you are ready to begin. If you can supply the materials, I shall provide the rest. And, Sylvia, good luck, yes? This boss Finn makes the hairs of my mustache stand on end. It would be good, I think, for you to trounce him